In the past 6 months, I have put in 15 offers. 15 offers for properties. Okay? These are properties that I've already analyzed. I know the region. I know intimate details of the region, and I've had none accepted. The reason for that is I've been putting in really low offers. Okay? If in 6 months, someone with my experience, and I'm saying with humility, has not been able to close a deal for himself, like as in the sense of buying ourselves. Okay, I have closed other deals. I close a deal every week on the funding side, or something or the other. But if I haven't closed a deal for myself in the last 6 months, it's a tough market. Okay. Now I had, one of our internal guys come to me with a deal which we've been working on for the past 4 or 5 months. I might end up investing in that deal because it looks good on the surface from level 1 due diligence. Okay, so there's 3 levels of due diligence on any deal. Even if it's a rent to HMO deal, you still need to do a 3-phase due diligence. I've done the first level due diligence, which I think Anara was there as well. And then we had, I think, Farouk there, and then Alan was there. Looks like from what I know so far, we might end up investing in that deal. But at the same time, unless you're really, really putting in offers, unless you're really, really speaking with loads and loads of landlords and agents, you're not going to close deals. And it's about practicing your grow model. And remember, within the grow model, your most negotiation tools come from the appraisal that you will do, which is always reverse engineered. So either it's a development deal, a land deal, or a rent to HMO. You're still going to reverse engineer the appraisal and then come to a figure of what rent you can pay to the landlord. And that spreadsheet, the appraisal, becomes the biggest negotiation tool. Sorry. It becomes the biggest negotiation tool when you're speaking with a landlord and or an agent. Okay? So you need to learn how to create that appraisal. Creating a rent to HMO appraisal is super basic. Let's say you're picking up a 6-bedroom property. You've gone on, let's say, Spare Room or the local agents or a bunch of other platforms, and you now know you can charge, let's say, 150 a week for each room. 150 a week times by 50 weeks a year, not 52 necessarily. Times that by 6, you have your top figure, which is your end figure of what you can achieve. Please write this down. It's important, okay? Because this applies the same to everything that you do. Even if you do a development deal, a land deal, the figures are very similar. And they say you write the expenses and you write the GDP, so on and so forth. The basic functionality remains the same, okay? So you work out what you can achieve in terms of the rental you can achieve, and then you minus the electric bills, the gas bills, you can minus the council tax, you minus the water bill, you minus the maintenance, you minus the cleaning, you minus everything else that you can write the back of that, contingency maybe 5 or 10%, and then you come to the rental figure that you can potentially pay the landlord. And remember, the biggest advantage for a landlord to give a property on a rent basis is that you actually look after the maintenance. Okay? So if he was to rent it out himself, he would be running around for the maintenance. He doesn't know how to qualify the tenants. He has to run around for the rent. Something goes wrong with the property. He has to pay the bills. He has to control the bills. All sorts of things. That's your job. That's how you're gonna make money. So
okay. Can I ask a question? If it is about maintenance, who will pay for maintenance? Myself or landlord?
No. In a rent to HMO deal, it's better to take maintenance on your side because that becomes your biggest negotiation tactic.
Okay.
Okay. But let's say you got to remember, you add that into the figures to make sure you come up with a reasonable rent that you're going to pay the landlord. You're not going to pay a very high rent Because if you do and then you still look after the maintenance, you're not going to make any money for yourself.
Yes.
If I'm a 60-year-old landlord of a HMO and I'm tired, I can't run around, I'm probably doing a job or something else on the side, I'd happily give it to someone who can look after the property, look after the maintenance, and I can just get a rent, a rental at the end of the month, even if it's lower than my expectations. I'd probably walk away with that. Okay, because I'm old, I'm a baby boomer, I have loads of HMOs or other things that I'm doing. Are you with me? Can you see through where I'm going with this? Okay. You invest 80% of your time on your rent to HMO deals. You spend 10% of your time. Sorry, let me change my words. You invest 10% of your time on rent to HMO. You invest 80% of your time on rent to HMO. You invest 10% of your time on your networking, and you invest 10% of your time on planning uplift deals alongside me. Please write this down. Yourself, Grace. I think it's the voice coming from your, yeah, please.
Okay. Can you hear me now? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you, Grace. Yes, it was just noisy on your end. Yeah. Everyone with me on the same page? Okay. Now make a spreadsheet of two things. One, how many hours are you investing in every single one of these three? Then another spreadsheet in the same spreadsheet, maybe spreadsheet number 2 within the same spreadsheet. How many calls are you making and connecting with the number of landlords? Sorry, the HMO landlords. Keep a track. Just because someone said no to you does not mean it's a no a day later, a moment later.
Yeah, can you please repeat that, please?
Grace, just because someone has said no, that does not mean it's a no forever. It's only a no for that moment.
I mean the spreadsheet.
Sorry, say that again.
The spreadsheet. Can you repeat?
The spreadsheet. So first spreadsheet to track what kind of hours are you investing into rent to HMO, into networking, and into planning uplift deals. And then you make another spreadsheet where you track the number of landlords you are speaking with their names, their mobile numbers, their emails, and notes of where you left off last time. If they said no, why did they say no? And then when you touch base later, maybe a month later, 3 months later, 6 months later, depending on how the conversation went, you touch base again. A no means a no only in the moment. It does not mean a no a day later. I've had a time, let me give you a story of what happened with me. Someone walked into my office, said, no, I don't want to join you, went out, came back 10 minutes later and said, I want to join you. I asked him, I said, what changed? He said, I just had an argument with my wife and I need to prove myself. Please raise your hand if you can see through what I mean by that.
Yep.
Okay, so just because someone has said a no, that's not a no forever. All it means is it's a no for that moment. No also means next opportunity. Okay? Okay. People who get most no's and still carry on are the most successful in the world.
Okay.
Yes, Colin, it's not now as well. Yes, you're right. Not now, next opportunity. There's loads of ways, acronyms you can give it. All it is you keep persisting till you start to get loads of yeses. Okay? Remember, we are in property business. One deal is what I call financial freedom. Imagine, in fact, I had a call this morning. Someone is direct to landlord with a 37 block apartments. Raise your hand if you think 37 block apartments is almost financial freedom. It can make anywhere between 20 grand all the way up to 60 grand in profits, net profits a month. I was in the middle of negotiating a 89-bedroom hotel. Raise your hand if you think that's financial freedom. If you acquire an 89-bedroom hotel and give it to someone else to manage, and you can just sit on the passive income easily, even after paying a manager 50, 60, 70 grand, you can still make 200, 300,000 pounds. Raise your hand if you can see what I mean.
Definitely.
It's one single yes that can change your life. Yes, sometimes that one single yes may only bring in 500 a month, but then you get to the point where a one single yes is going to bring £1 million. But unless you don't know how to get a yes for the 500 mark, you're not going to get to the 1 million mark. You're just not going to get there. It's what I call experience level. Are you with me?
Yes.
I promise you guys, everything I'm sharing with my personal experience. I have barely scraped through in my life to get to a point where I can talk about acquiring an 89-bed hotel. Listen to what I just said. I said I've barely managed to scrape through in my life. I was an immigrant. I had no help. I had pretty much everyone around me underestimate me. Okay? Looking at it from the lens of, from the perspective of other people, I had zero chances. Okay? Only reason I made it is, if someone said no to me, that created more burning power in me to get a yes next time. That's all it was. Okay? I swear to God, I'm not giving you a motivational speech. I'm just telling you the reality. I walked into a meeting. Strangely enough, I've started to look a bit more mature now. But till I was like 37, I looked like a 25. Till about 32, I looked like 18 years old. I walked into a meeting. The woman said, I don't want to discuss it with you. I said, why? Because you look like a 17-year-old. I was 25 years old. I walked out of the meeting.
You have good genes, Jack. Good genes.
Well, they are against business, buddy. I know, but they're against business.
No,
right?
no, I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah?
Hear you.
All I'm saying is that it's a game of persistence. Okay? If you're going to say no to me, I'm going to go and pitch it to 10 more people. If 10 are going to say no to me, I'm going to go and pitch it to 100 more people. Okay? That's all the game is. And remember, every single time, you improve slight bit from the last call. What went wrong, what went right, and then pick up the phone. And then make notes. And then what that does is, when you've made 200 calls, 300, 400, 500 calls, you just become amazing at your negotiation skills, at your sales skills, your persuasion skills, at your leadership skills, leading the conversation. I'm going to pick a person, and I want that person to more or less do this. This is very interesting. Do this with me.
Okay.
Reflect back on every conversation I've had with you, and try and see who was leading the conversation.
It was actually you, even though I didn't notice it.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I just need you to observe the reason I was leading that conversation. Yeah, you don't realize it because I'm using grow model.
Yeah.
And I'm using grow model in a way where it benefits both. Just because you're leading the show, your intentions need to be very clear that you're going to help the person.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just because I'm leading the conversation, or you are going to lead the conversation when you speak with a landlord or an agent, within the grow model framework, does not mean that you have bad intentions. You want to help that person.
Right.
But you got to learn to lead that conversation.
Yeah. I remember very vividly, Jack, you were asking questions of, so, okay, so what is the issue?
What's the
What is
challenge?
happening? Yeah, what's the challenge?
What's the
And
challenge?
then you go quiet. And then after that, you ask questions, for example, like, okay, so where do you want to go from here? How can I help you from here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you see that? It's very
Yeah.
simple.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, simple takes lots of practice.
Yeah.
Even though it's very simple, human mind is in and itself is very complicated. So for something to be made simple, you have to go through lots of repetitions of that to make it simple.
No, Jack, I agree, because I was talking to a landlord last week.
Yeah.
And one of the things I asked him was, so I provided my service, right? I said, look, Mr. Landlord, here is what I can do. But before I even say that, how are you doing?
Yes.
Because I remember he did that with me, Jack. How are you doing? He said to me, well, I'm doing all right, but let's get to it. I said, okay, that's fine. Is there anything in property that is challenging you right now? And then he was very cold, but at the same time, Jack, he couldn't help but speak to me because of the way I framed the question, because I'm copying you. I said, is there anything in property that's challenging for you right now? So even though he was like, oh well, he was kind of fighting answering, he actually told me, he said, well, actually, I have a couple of properties. I'm okay now. He told me I'm okay now, but you're right. It's challenging to manage 7 properties on my own.
Let me give you a bit more depth into it. Please write this down. This is very, very interesting, okay?
Okay.
Ask the question why in different phrase words 3 times or more. Same question.
Okay.
I'll tell you what I mean by that.
Okay.
So I come to you and say, how are you, Moro? Say, I'm not too bad.
Yeah.
No, really, how are you, Moro?
Right.
Okay. Then you tell me a bit more depth. Maybe you just had a really tough day.
Mm.
And then a few minutes later, and then I ask you, Moro, how are you feeling? Can you see I asked the same question 3 times?
3 times in different
And
ways.
the third time, here is what happens Here's what interesting thing happens when you ask the third time or more. You keep digging deeper into the person.
Yeah.
Their emotions, their real challenges. And if they're a bit of a tough one to break, they're not going to tell you the first time. They will tell you a little bit more the second time. They'll tell you a bit more the third time. And then when you ask this question about 20 times, you've now really gone into the depth of that person, like into the real soul of that person. But just don't make it too bait, too obvious.
Gotcha. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
Asking open questions like how, what, when, why. You can phrase the same question in different wordings 3 times or more to get to the real depth of the challenge, the problem, and how then you can meet that challenge, the problem, and be that person who's going to solve that problem.
Gotcha. I understand.
Can you see why I'm doing this? A perfect match, trying to create a perfect match.
Yeah.
Okay? When you will practice the 3 whys or more, the 3 hows or more, the 3 whens or more, 3 what or more, you will start to realize that there is so much more depth into the grow model. There is so much more depth into leading a person, a conversation. There's so much more depth into the human being that you're talking with.
I hear you. Yeah.
Every human being on this planet, either you are Asian, you are English, you are Hispanic, you are African, it doesn't really matter. When you ask 3 times why or more, and when you get to the core of that person, everyone wants similar things, or almost same things. You just need to have that in the context that they are in, and then say, okay, I can help you with this situation. I'll tell you what goes wrong. When you don't ask why as many times or what as many times, and you don't get to the depth of it. I'll give you an example. You meet a tired landlord. The guy has probably some embarrassing illness.
Right.
And doesn't want to tell you. And now you ask this guy about 3, 4, 5, 10 times why. And he can see you're a genuine person. Remember, face expressions will say, are you actually genuine? Do you genuinely care or not? And then he will open up and say, look, I've got some illness and I can't look after these damn properties. That's when he will give you the business. Remember, people don't care what you know. People care if you care. Do you genuinely care about human beings and other people, even if it means they give you pain, even if it means they don't give you business? Do you genuinely care about another person? They can see that. Human beings are very instinctive. When you're speaking with someone, they can immediately feel that do you actually care or not?
Yeah.
And if they feel that you care, I promise you, you are going to get business. Yes, Colm. People remember how you make them feel.
Yeah.
So when they can feel you, they can feel that you care, they are going to give you business. If you just go into a what I call the surface conversation, don't expect business. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you genuinely care? Someone says no to you because he doesn't want to, tell you about his embarrassing illness. You walk away from the surface-based conversation. You don't go back. How are you going to close business? Never leave a meeting without booking the next meeting. Everyone with me in this?
That's a big one to remember, Jack. Never leave a meeting without booking the next one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Never leave a phone call without booking the next meeting.
Yeah.
Grace has said, what if their objection is, she said something in the chat box. I'm going to read
He asked, what do you do if the tenant refuses to pay rent?
Oh, the tenant refuses to pay rent. So rent to HMO is when you need to give ASTs.
Yeah.
The backup is rental insurance. You can get rental insurance. Yes, you're going to pay 100, 150 a month. It comes off of your profits, but that's your security. Okay? There is not a lot you can do. The way I deal with this is, and fortunately, I've been able to get to a point I can read people well. I wouldn't give my room and or my property to someone I know who's not going to pay rent. In my 21 years of being a landlord, I've not had even 1 month of anyone missing their payment. And I want to, what they call, keeping fingers crossed, touch wood, it doesn't happen. Because it can happen. Okay? And that's only because I can read people well. It's not a skill you can learn easily. I would not give my property, even if I'm feeling 0.1% this person is going to mess around. I just wouldn't. I hope that answers your question, Grace. If one room, if one person does not give you rent, that almost wipes out most of your profits from the rent to HMO. Okay? So you'll be working for free if you don't know how to read people. Okay? I have had times and times again when wrong tenants have taken the property, they've grown weed, they're selling drugs, they are doing all sorts of illegal activities, and they leave the property in a mess. In fact, there was one viewing done yesterday by one of the tenant members, Natasha, property burnt down, left in a bad state, weed growing everywhere. property was burnt down by those guys. Okay. It happens all the time. Like I said, you just need to be very careful who you give property to. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenants at the moment in 5 different properties. Every single one of them, family people, they're likely to less mess around. People I would speak on repeatedly to make sure they're not into illegal activities. They're not doing anything dodgy. They're just real human beings trying to do business like another human, like me. Okay. Anara, I think you had your hand up. You had a question. Open your mic, please. I can't hear you, Anara.
I think you're still mute. She's still mute.
Yeah, you're still muted, Anara.
Oh, sorry. Now, can you hear?
I can hear you now.
Ah, that's good. You mentioned the rental insurance, £100 a month. Does it mean per every tenant, or it's the general insurance, or it's the insurance for one property?
So my understanding, I've never taken a rent insurance. I do know loads of companies who do rent insurance. In fact, it's a task for me to take one out in the next 3 months for our 3 properties. So I actually don't know how it works, but I'm pretty sure that it covers the whole property.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But in the 21 years that I've been a landlord, I've never needed one. But unfortunately, it is in my task list in 3 months' time to take out rental insurance for 3 or 4 of our properties. Okay.
Good. Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's so again, don't hesitate to come into the group and write, I want to practice the GROW model, and who's prepared to jump on a Zoom call with me. Don't hesitate. There's about 7 of us here, and there's about 20 plus people. There's about 25 plus people in the group. Please practice this. The more you do, the more you'll get yeses. Go on, Anara.
Okay, what will I do?
Just ask in the group and say, I want to practice the GROW model. Anyone up for it?
Yes, I want to practice the GROW model if someone wants to do it with me.
Yeah, Nara, let's do it.
Yeah, we're not going to do it today, guys. We're not going to do it today.
No, Jack, but I'm just saying, let's do it. Yeah.
Anytime, touch base with anyone within the protege group or the inner circle group and say, I want to practice GROW model. Do you want to jump on a Zoom call with me? Arrange a time, DM each other. Boom, practice.
Okay. Mauro, we will. I will write you, and we will arrange time.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, please, I'm repeating myself, but it's so important, okay? Your life depends on getting yeses. And if you don't learn how to get yeses, neither me nor anyone on this planet can help you. I was looking at this deal to invest yesterday. We need 700 grand equity to be able to do this deal. I have 450, just shy of £500,000 coming in. I still need £250,000 to be able to do this deal. Let's say if I was to agree to do this deal. I met a friend of mine this morning. I said, I need £250,000. Do you have money sitting around? He goes, no, I'm doing another deal. I need 300 grand. Okay. If I agree to do this deal, I'm going to pitch it to as many people as required. I know more investors than most people can imagine, but timings don't match easily. Just because I am ready with a deal doesn't mean someone is ready with money, and vice versa. Sometimes they're ready with money and I'm not ready with a deal. That means I have to pitch it to more and more people. And I would not say yes to the deal in front unless I have money in my account. Okay? So irrespective of how big your network might be, sometimes it's not easy. I'm going to do, there's a reason I'm sharing all of this with you so you can see through and it applies to how it applies to you. Let's say, I've done the level 1 due diligence on the deal. I'm going to do 2 more levels of due diligence, which are very, very time consuming. Once I've done the level 2 and I've gone and done the viewing and everything else, and then I'm going to go and pitch it to other people to raise $250,000. And then I'm going to do the level 3 due diligence. I could get to the level 3 due diligence, raise the money, and then come across something that might not fit into the way I want to do things and just still not do the deal. But let's say if everything goes mostly right and we end up investing into the deal, we could easily walk away with £1 million in profits. That's well over doubling the money. Okay? This is not just my money. There are investors. There are 2 other people who are involved into this. Okay? I can easily pick up the phone and call 3, 4 more people who are ready with money. But when I call them, I don't know if they'll be ready by then, because at the moment they do have the money, but I'm yet to find out what's happening. When I say yes to the deal, whenever it happens. But that's what the game is. Okay? I know some of the stuff you might have heard, but please remember, it's so important, okay? Tenants not paying, normal. Investors pulling out, normal. Landlords pulling out, normal. Agents pulling out, normal. Having an argument with a stakeholder and investor, normal. Builders not turning up, normal. Builders running away with money, normal. Walking into your property and finding a dead body. I don't want to call it normal, but it happens. I had someone call me and said, I went to my HMO. I found a dead body.
Whoa.
I called the police. The property was closed off for like a couple of months, and then I barely managed to get it open. After all the, what they call the analysis. Okay? All of this is normal. If you can't take it, don't start your business. Okay? All of this is normal. You're doing a deal that's going to make you £1 million. Investor pulls out. What do? You go and pitch it to more people.
Yeah,
you
never,
ever give up. The only people who don't become successful are the ones who give up. Okay? I do not know of a single person who has not been successful who has not given up. Okay? It's a game of persistence. If you have not, in fact, I learned this from Dr. Wayne Dyer. He said the day you learn how to save money is the day you achieve greatness in your life. What did he mean by that? What he meant by that was that once you learn how to save money, and when you look back 5 years later, you can take 1, 2, 3 years off. And when you can take 1, 2, 3 years off, and you can focus on your personal and professional growth, compounded over a period of time, you achieve greatness. I can walk out and not have to work a day of my life. Only reason for that has been because I learned to save money at a very, very early stage of life. When I made 200 a week, I saved 100 a week. When I made 1,000 a week, I saved 500, 400, 300 a week. When I made 2,000 a week, I saved 1,000 a week. When I made 100 grand from a deal, I saved 50 or more of that. When I saved money, I invested into my personal and professional growth. Not just mine, my kids, My wife is doing a doctorate. I am getting an honorary doctorate. My daughter became a cultural head of the junior years, like the junior all classes. I spent a whole evening filling up a form on leadership for her and teaching her all of that. Can you see compounding? Can you see where I'm going with this? You might turn up and say common sense. Guess what? 8 out of 10 people don't do this. Maybe do a search on Google and say, in UK, if someone's car breaks down and they get a £2,000 bill, 80% of the people cannot afford to get their car repaired as of today. Please do this research when you get time. I'll repeat, 80% of the people in UK, if their car breaks down and if they get a £2,000 bill, repair bill, they cannot afford to pay. What chances do they have to ever become a millionaire and reach their full potential? They're stuck in a rut. Go to work, come back, pay your bills, watch TV, go on dates, go clubbing, go drinking, come back, same rut, keep complaining. Guess what? Next time you find yourself saying not too bad, think again. You ask me, how am I feeling? Irrespective of how I'm feeling, I'd say I'm fantastic. How do I start to feel? Physiology, right? I start to feel fantastic. I'm telling you guys, all of this is just common sense. And it's unbelievable how many people just don't use this. Okay? This is your life. You can go and binge Netflix for 5 hours. I'm not saying I don't do that. I do it every now and then. But you can binge Netflix for 5 hours, or you can watch my 5 hours videos and change your life and decide to make that first million as soon as possible. It's your choice, right? 190 hours isn't a long time. You can watch those videos. My Audible library is at 590 books. I have probably read shy of 2,000 books in my life. I'm washing dishes, I'm listening to a book. I'm driving, I'm listening to a book. I'm waiting for someone, I'm listening to a book. I am doing anything, like literally, I would take time out to take mentoring from other people. I would take time out to watch other people's trainings. I'll take time out to listen to podcasts. Unless you don't get to 100 million, you keep doing that. When you get to 100 million, you call me up and say, Jack, I've had enough. Good luck. All right?
Jack, one of the things about that is, Andy Elliott was saying this. Even when you get to that level, he listens to more podcasts today than he ever before, even though he's at that level.
Paradoxical as it may sound, the more you get to that level, the more you want to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think I watched interesting. I'm going to get to the technical stuff as well. But I watched a video where I think Kobe Bryant was asking Kanye West, you know, and he said, how many more, #1 albums? More. Kobe said, more.
Yeah.
And then, how much more do you want me to achieve? More. Kanye, more. Yeah. That was Kobe Bryant and Kanye West. Top of the game, both guys, unfortunately, Kobe gone, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yes, when you get to that level, you want to do more of it. But I'm just saying it at this stage for you, unless you don't get to the 100 million, keep learning, guys. From me, from everyone, learn with your instinct, learn with all your senses, keep your ears and eyes open. Once you start to get yeses, you will see the magic. Okay? You get a yes, you make 500. Amazing. Well, then you get a yes and you make 1 million. And you're like, wow. Okay? That's what the game is. You're not going to get there in 2 years. You're not going to get there in 3 years. Well, you can get there in 3 years. But you really have to be nature and nurture both in your favor. Okay. Your genetics, I don't know how your genetics are. I was a geek in my school time. And I still hanged around with the bad boys. At the same time, you know, when I left school, I didn't go to university. I did my university in my 30s. But when I was in school, all teachers said was like, literally, this guy is amazingly intelligent, but naughty enough never to make it. I'm here. I'm still naughty, and I've still made it. Okay. All right, guys, technical part. I'm going to get the membership of Property Data very soon. It's £15. If you can afford it, guys, take it. It will help you find local deals in your region. Okay. In fact, let me just check one thing. I think Property Data, if you want to chip in money and we take the top package, which is a bit more, I think it's like 50 quid or whatever. I don't know the exact figure, but I can check. If you want to chip in money and we all take it together, otherwise I'm just going to take the basic one because that's all I need. Okay. We can discuss that later. Just let me know. Okay. Otherwise, you can go and take your own membership, £15 a month or whatever it is, £18 a month. It's worth it. Okay. You can find local flip deals very, very easily. Guys, please let me know if you know how to find flip deals. Please raise your hand if you know how to find flip deals on Zoopla or Rightmove.
Jack, do you mean when you change the credential stuff from oldest to most reduced? Right. Yeah. Okay.
So now let me share all of that with you. Moro, you've seen that, yes. So oldest to the newest, to the most reduced, to the high price and low price, and at the same time keywords where you can use keywords refurb, refurbished, rundown, all sorts of keywords that you can use to be able to shortlist the properties on the portals, right?
Yeah.
Guys, please use this. Zoopla Rightmove allows you to use keywords, and when you use keywords like rundown, refurbished, refurb, so on and so forth, just use your own creativity. Use a few keywords. You can find flip deals in your local region. Okay. Yeah. At the same time, Property Data will help you as well. Okay. What do flip deals do? What flip deals do is you come across one which is interesting. Let's say it makes you 25% profit margin. I don't know, let's say purchase price 100 grand, refurb another 20, end value 150. You can sell it to an investor, make 3-4 grand. Let's say purchase price $500,000. I actually went to see one this morning, a property that's really run down, probate property in the market at 600,000. The likely someone is going to pick at 550. My friend has put an offer on it. Refurb at 250, 550 plus 250, 800. It's probably going to be worth about 1.1 million. Okay. You source a property like that, investor will happily give you 20 grand, 30 grand. Okay. We did a deal back in the days, I think it was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, where we sourced a property for one of our investors. We got a rundown property, squatters, tired landlord, 76 years old, couldn't manage, it was a HMO. We got it for 240. We put an overage of 20 grand. We were charging still the seller 2%, which was £4,800. So we managed to make 20,000 plus 4,800, which is 24,800. We sourced the property to the investor. He spent 40 grand on it in refurbing it. You know, the cost to him was about 310, 320. The property is valued at 600,000. Raise your hand if you see this is a fantastic deal for everyone. Investor made 300 grand. We made £24,800. Investor is happy because now he keeps asking me, you know, find me more deals. You know, we walked away with decent money. I didn't quite do any work for it. just a connection. Okay, you can find deals like that all day long on it, on Zoopla, Rightmove, you know, property data. Don't invest too much time into that. Reason I'm saying is, if you come across one, and then we have this network where either we sell the deal or we find an investor to do it ourselves, and we walk away with 100 grand profit or 50 grand or 200 grand, that's never a bad deal because you make this money very quickly. Okay, this is normally like a 3 months project, done and dusted, money in pockets. Are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, please raise your hand. I want to see everyone's hand. Otherwise, I'll have to guide you to that video. Raise your hand if you know how to find these deals. It's one thing negotiating these deals. It's one thing finding these deals. So I can see Moro, Anara, Grace, John, can you find deals like that? Con, do you know how to find deals like that? No, John, no. Go watch the video.
Okay.
Natasha, do you know how to find these deals?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Remember, now, if you just observe this session, I know, Natasha, you've joined late, but everyone else, Natasha, you joined late, right?
No, I didn't.
Well, you've been there straight from the start. Sorry, my apology.
Yeah.
My apology. Okay, so if you observe this session, I'm saying you know how to find the deals. One, you know how to negotiate these deals based on the GROW model. You know how to sell these deals based on the GROW model. You just need to practice this more of. Anara, I'm talking about GROW model of, remember, GROW model gets used in persuasion. Either it is sales or negotiation. It's the same thing.
It's GROW model.
It's GROW model. So when you know how to find a deal like that, and you know how to negotiate, you know how to sell these deals based on the GROW model, keep practicing the GROW model. What stops you from doing a deal like this? 1 in 3 months, 1 in 3 months, that's going to make you 20 grand.
Good. Yes, okay.
But you got to do it to get the experience, so the next time it becomes a piece of cake. It becomes more and more easier the more you do it.
Okay.
Okay. The same rule applies with planning uplift deals. I'm actually going to ask every single one of you. I have sent, so I'm going to keep adding more deals onto the list that I've sent you guys. So Natasha, I've sent you a list of, I don't know, maybe 10 odd deals. Have you approached those properties?
No, I wondered if you could guide me as to how I would look into doing that.
Okay. Thank you for asking that. I'm going to go through everyone and I'll come back to your question, Natasha, on this, okay?
Okay.
I think everyone will have a similar objection, similar feeling of how to do this, okay?
Okay.
So Anara,
Yes.
have I sent you a list yet or I haven't? No, I haven't.
No, you
I'm going to get to you. I'm going to get to you. John, I have sent you, have I sent you a list? No. Okay, Grace, I have sent you a list. The spreadsheet?
Yeah. And that is only for the
Planning uplifts.
Yeah, not property.
No, not for flip deals, for planning uplift deals.
Yeah.
Have you approached these people?
No.
Why not?
I don't know how to.
Okay. Natasha, can you see same? Can you see? I knew I had this feeling that she's going to ask the same question. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Moro.
Yes, Jack.
Have you approached some of these guys that are on the list?
Yes, I approached the first two on the list. I've had no answers. It could be the day, Jack. It could be the time I went. So I'm going to go back again this week.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
approach all of them. I will speed up by adding more deals onto all the lists. Okay.
Okay.
So you will have more to play with.
Right. Right.
Are you with me? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna go back to your question, Natasha, and the same question was Grace. And everyone would have still similar feelings on how I do it. Okay. So let's say I knock the door. Okay. I don't know. Either the landlord opens, his wife opens, a tenant opens. I don't know. It's my job to find out who the person is.
Right.
How do you interact? Remember, if you go and speak with anyone else except the decision maker, you're in essence wasting your time. Okay? It's never a waste of time. That's always a gateway to get to the decision maker. But at the same time, they can't give you an answer, right? So it's always good to ask very quickly, how do you get to know a person? Okay? Let me see, this is very interesting bit, okay? Let's say you're single, you walk into a pub. How do you talk to a girl if you're a man? And if you're a woman, without talking to a man, how do you attract the man? It's exactly the same principle, okay? So let's say I knock the door and a man comes out or a woman comes out, it will still be two different things. But let's say a man comes out and my first question would be, first thing would be, how are you? I was just around the corner here and I came across your property. It looks fantastic. It has amazing potential. I wonder, are you the landlord? Can you see the enthusiasm and how I immediately ask the question like, are you the landlord? Everyone, please interact with me here. Can you see where I'm going with this? Enthusiasm is very important. They want to see someone upbeat, someone who is genuine. And at the same time, very quickly, I want to find out who this person is. And the likely answer, not always, but the likely answer is, yes, I'm the landlord, I'm the tenant, I'm the spouse of the landlord, I'm the brother of the landlord. Likely not all the time. Not everyone opens easily. Your job is to get that person to open up, sit down with you, and discuss about their property. Okay? If let's say this person says, I am not the landlord, I am a tenant, my next question would be, I would really appreciate if you can put me in touch with the landlord. I really need to speak with him. I just really really lots of potential in this property. I can really help him out. Okay? He might just turn up and say, oh, I can't give you his number, but I can ask him and then I can come back to you. Or he might turn up and say, no, thank you. Yes? Yeah? Are you with me, guys?
Yeah.
If he says no, that's not a problem. Not the next time you'll be surprised someone else opens and he might put you in touch. Another tenant, maybe the landlord is there. You never know. Okay? But if he says, I can put you in touch with the landlord, or I can speak with the landlord and come back to you, take his name, take his number, say, please put me in touch with the landlord, speak with him, and then, connect with this person, ask him, when can I bring you back on? And then we can, I can ask you that. And then he's going to say, oh, I can put you in touch with him tomorrow or day after. And then that's a follow-up call in your Google Diary. And let's say now I asked the same question, right? The first thing, I came across your property, amazing potential. I was just wondering, are you the landlord? And he says, yes, I'm the landlord. Are you like, okay, this is who I am. This is what we do. Practice this, guys. Practice this. My name is Jack Davra. I am one of the founders of Property Entrepreneurs Network, and we are property developers. We have locally developed a property in wherever the region. Just say the last deal we did was in Wembley or in Slough or in Blackpool, so on and so on. Just take one of my deals. Okay? Say, I was wondering if I can discuss this with you, like literally take 2 minutes of your time, just show you how we are looking at your property and how you can benefit. Please raise your hand if you can see where I'm going with this.
That
Sorry,
sounds.
Jack, I'm trying to write down what you're saying.
That sounds.
Yes, me too.
Can you please? I'm sorry.
Grace, I can't hear you.
Oh my God. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, go ahead.
Can you repeat that? That sounds so interesting.
Okay, sorry, guys. I speak
Slowly,
fast.
slowly, yeah.
I realize I speak fast. Okay, I was trying to slow down. So I knock the door and I say, "How are you? I came across your property. You have an amazing property with amazing potential. I would love to discuss this with you. Can I just ask you, are you the landlord?" If I slow this down anymore, I will forget the words.
No, Jack, I got you.
Yes. Mhm. Yes.
And then he says, "I'm the landlord. Can I just take 2 minutes of your time?" Always remember, most precious is the time. Everyone is conscious about their time. Can I just take 2 minutes of your time? Even though if your conversation goes longer, this is not going to be 2 minutes. This is going to be bloody 20 days. But it's going to help both of you. But initially, you only need is 2 minutes to say, "Look, I looked at your property from the perspective of, multi-unit. That has great potential.
Mhm.
We help landlords in the region to achieve the full potential of their property." Guys, I want you to get a gist of this. This is very important. It's not about you writing my words. It's about you understanding the GROW model and creatively using your own words.
Yes. Mhm.
You're not going to get the same answer as I'm practicing here. You may, if you're lucky, but you're not going to get same answers all the time. You're going to get some rude people shutting door on your face. You need to know how to deal with it. You're gonna come across people who will lie to you. You're gonna come across people who are just ridiculously stupid. You need to learn how to deal with them. In fact, Natasha, this morning was a fantastic example for you.
Mhm.
Guy literally lying on face on the call. I had to really kind of diplomatically deal with it. Either we do the deal or not, that's another story. But that was a good example. It's about understanding GROW model. It's about understanding how to get a yes based on the GROW model. Asking a person, how long have you lived at this property? If the guy's been living for 20 years and has emotional ties to the property, he's not going to leave the property. But if the guy has been living there for 20 years and someone has died at the property and he wants to just not be there, you are in for winning the lottery. Can you see both same context, but different feeling behind it? The guy is probably going through, or the girl is probably going through a divorce, going through some ill health, having trouble with kids, having trouble paying bills. You never know what the problem is. But when you use the GROW model as in why, what, how, when, so on and so forth, understand that person, what's happening in their life, what are their challenges, you can then see through if there is a deal or not, if there's value you can bring on the table or not, if really both of you are winning or not. Are you with me? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I'm actually going to do the next session on option agreements. How to negotiate option agreements. Anara picked on that. I said, well, fantastic. I would love to teach that because I've never taught that session. it's going to help me get more depth into it as well. Okay.
Mhm.
Do I know everything about option agreements? No. Do I know enough? Yes, enough to do a deal.
Okay.
Okay. How
Mhm.
to creatively structure these deals, how to financially structure these deals. Remember, I'm a finance guy. I know how to structure them financially. Okay. Any questions, guys?
Yeah. Can I borrow your brain?
She also did the matrix on you, Jack. You know, put the thing on the head and take.
You want to borrow my head? I can give it to you. I'll
Please.
tell you how. I'll tell you how.
What's the training? What's the trainings?
No. Well, that's one thing. That's one thing. Yes, thank you, Borrow. That's one thing. You can borrow my head when you have done countless trainings, countless mentoring sessions, countless books. Like I said, I'm probably shy of 2,000 books in my life. You got my brain. There you go. You know how to do it now. Go and do it. You know, there's a saying, you know, a person can only guide you. He can't walk your path.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I'm walking my path. It's your job to walk your path. It's my job to guide you. If you end this session and never practice grow model, good luck to you. And you end this session and become obsessive about the grow model, I will not be surprised that 5 or 10 years later, you're doing more deals than I am. I have young kids, I get less time. If any of you is single, you will get 10 times more time than I do. If you, I repeat, if you go and obsessively practice the grow model, if you go and obsessively analyze deals, if you go and obsessively negotiate deals, I will not be surprised 5 years later, you go and close a deal that's going to make you £5 million and you're ahead of me. I'll be the happiest man.
Jack?
Yeah.
Is there any way that we can analyze a dummy deal?
Development deal?
No, a
Dummy deal. Like
oh yeah, I can analyze a real deal in front of you.
Yeah.
A live deal.
Okay.
In fact, I can analyze any kind of deal, a live deal right in front of you. Either it's a rent to HMO deal, rent to rent deal, a HMO deal, a flip deal, a development deal, a land deal, you name it, I can analyze every single one of them for you, live deals in front of
The
Okay.
the challenge I've got is analyzing sales deal. I'm okay with
you. No, there's no okay. Either you know how to do it or you don't know how to do it.
with sales deal, absolutely not at all.
Okay, so
Absolutely not.
one session options, second session. I'm gonna actually save this in my diary. Just give me one sec, guys. So the next session is options, but then I'm gonna do the next one after that, which is on the 3rd of May, I think.
June, Jack, June.
June, yes, sorry. Analyzing all sorts of deals. I've saved it. Okay.
Yes.
Use Google Calendar for everything. I cannot remember washing my clothes. It's in my diary. I cannot remember bloody buying shoes. I cannot remember anything unless there is Google Calendar. And the reason I can't remember is because I'm doing a lot. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's good to have something to remind you for every single intricate thing that you can think of. Okay. If I need to check my emails, I put it in my diary. If I need to check if I need to speak with someone, I put it in my diary. If I need to, anything that I need to do, it goes in my Google Calendar.
Okay. Good.
All right, guys. Now we're gonna go back to the session, and I just want you to observe back, reflect back. You know how to find these deals. Property data, or Zoopla Rightmove features, very, very basic, not very difficult. You already are getting sheets from me for land deals. If you haven't got it, you'll get one very, very soon. Okay?
Good. Thank you.
Okay? Guys, every single one of you needs to message me with a date of when you want to do your virtual event. For those who still have not done this. For those who have announced their events, you've not done enough networking to fill your events.
Okay.
I will repeat this, is very important, okay? More or less do this so everyone can see through. One-on-one so everyone can see through.
Okay.
Open your phone, tell me how many people do you have in your contacts?
Give me 1 second, Jack.
That's including family members, everyone.
I've got 448 contacts.
I have 10,700 or 600, something, there's some replicas, so I think there's 10,600. So you got how many?
48.
448. How many people are you connected to on Facebook?
How many people are connected on Facebook? I think about 5,000.
Okay. How many people are you connected on LinkedIn?
1,000 something, Jack. 1,000 something.
Yeah, 1,000 something. So let's say you got 1,000 something there, you got 400 something there, you got 5,000 on Facebook. That's how many people? Let's say 7,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just under, yeah.
I don't care what it takes. You're gonna go and speak with every single one of these. I have joined 800 and something property UK groups to do my network.
Yeah.
That's Facebook. I am also a part of probably just shy of 100 groups on LinkedIn, property groups. I'm always sharing content, always sharing my experience, always sharing value. I'm connecting, inviting people all the time. Either I'm doing it or my virtual assistants are doing it. Okay? You need to connect with every person you know. Either they want to do business with you, or if they don't want to do business with you, you ask them to recommend you to other people. That's how you grow a network. You keep bringing value, you keep inviting people, you keep bringing value, you keep inviting. If let's say you have announced an event and it hasn't had that many people register, the likely is you've first either not connected with enough people or they can't see enough value. Okay.
That's one thing I need to do more, Jack. Posting. I need to post more.
Okay.
Definitely.
Also, ask me the copywriting for the event. I will write it myself. Okay. It takes me no more than 5 minutes to write content for an event. Okay. I've practiced this 500,000 times. Okay. So please reach out to me. I'll write it for you. But if you haven't announced it, please come back and give me a date so we can announce it, prepare for it, prepare the banner, the Zoom link and so on. If you've already announced it and you've not had enough registrations, please reschedule your event and make sure that you have people registered so the event at least has 10 or more people. Then you record the event, you put it on your YouTube channel, you share it with people so you can keep attracting more people and keep bringing more value into your community.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
yes,
let me understand you a little bit. So the content, is it going to, when we invite people, is it going to be for them to come and do what? I just want to understand myself because I see.
So when they join an event, it's like this. It's like the one we are doing right now.
Are they joining as an investor or?
No, it's not for you to decide that, Grace. When someone joins, it's our job to find out what is it that they want to achieve. Okay? And once we find out what they want to achieve, that's where we try to work out the synergy. So let's say someone joins because they are newbies, they don't know what they're doing. Maybe they want to learn. Maybe they have a little bit of money, they want to invest. Maybe they're a landlord, they need help with management. It's not our job initially. When they join, then it becomes our job to find out what is it that they want.
So how do
And
you,
then we work out the synergy.
so how do you sell to them?
Sell initially.
No, I mean, of course, you need a reason for, I mean, you need to tell them the reason why they are coming to this event.
Yeah, so that's the content of the event itself. Okay, so let's say on your event, we call it the flip deal event. Okay, and then let's say I'm speaking, or we bring another speaker who is going to talk about flip deals. Okay, they come, they join because either they want to learn, or they want to invest, or they know nothing and want hands-on passive investment, or they want to learn how to grow their portfolio, or they're already a landlord learning more depth, or they're already a landlord and want someone to help them with a flip. There can be a million reasons. Okay, are you with me?
Yeah.
We call it land. For example, planning uplift event. We talk about planning uplifts. We show them how these are done. We give them some of the basics, and then it's our job to find out how the synergy will work with them. Where are they now? Again, going back to the grow model, we need to find out where they are in their journey. That's the R for reality. What is it that they want to achieve? The goals.
Yeah.
And then O for opportunities, as in the opportunities we bring on the table. Finance, deals, joint ventures, development deals with us. If you're a landlord, we'll help you manage a whole bunch of things, right?
Yeah.
And then W for will, which is always asked. The closing question when you're sure you're going to get a yes is, would you like to go ahead?
Yeah.
Are you clear on this, Grace?
That makes sense now.
Yeah. You gotta have good copywriting skills. Remember, good copywriting skills is exactly again the grow model. It's exactly based on what other people's challenges are. It's based on exactly what goals they want to achieve. It's based on what opportunities you bring on the table. All your copywriting, verbal or written skills, sales, persuasion skills are always based on the grow model.
Jack, for the subscription of the property data, can we not all kind of,
Take money and just take one package, one large package, and yeah.
One large package, yeah.
I'm thinking like that. I will look into this. I will look into this. Yeah. First, what's the biggest package they have? The unlimited package, and then I'll come back. And if you want to chip in money, otherwise I'll just take the basic package. If you guys want to chip in money, then we'll take the big package. Okay.
Okay.
That might be a good idea, Jack. Everyone sharing
the big package. Yeah, I will check and I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
So for those guys who have announced their event, please go and check how many people are registered. That's on the Zoom. If you're using my Zoom, ask me, I will check. At the same time, if you haven't announced your event, please come back to me with a date. I will check my diary. We'll announce your event. We'll go from there. Any questions, guys?
Jack, just a quick one. I'm yet to do more invites today for my event tomorrow.
Yes.
I've got 3 people registered so far. I got 10 interested. I'm going to ask them to register for the link. When or if should I reschedule the event? That's the question I'm asking. Should I try to invite more people for tomorrow, and then after tomorrow see how many registered, or what do you think I should do?
So invite as many as you can this evening.
Okay.
We'll discuss this and decide this tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. Okay. No problem.
Okay, guys. I do not know of a reason, from the knowledge you have got from this session and some of the previous sessions and the trainings that you have, I don't know for a reason why you can't close a deal. The only reason I can think is you've just not practiced enough yet. You know what to do, but you don't know, you don't have enough confidence maybe as yet because you've not practiced enough. Otherwise, I don't know for a reason why you can't do this. If you watch one of the sessions that I did, and this wasn't too long ago, where I showed about Zoopla and Rightmove and how you can find flip deals and how you can find market value deals, even the sheets that I'm sharing with you guys, approach those guys. I don't know for a reason why you can't close a deal. Let me share something very interesting with you, which a lot of people take this for granted. If you're sitting on, benefits and, taking universal credit or whatever it is, help from the government, consider this as a blessing because it's now giving you the time to learn the game. A game that can make you, one deal can make you 100 grand, even as a bare minimum. A deal that can make you £1 million overnight. Use that to your advantage. Or if you're already doing a job and you have a little bit of money coming in and you have a little bit of extra time to do this and learn this, that's your moment. That's your chance to go and close a deal. Okay? Remember, I'm holding your hand. I'm alongside you when you look at a deal and you don't know what to do with it. I'm here helping you out every step of the way. Okay? Analyzing every deal, negotiating every deal, helping you see through the deal and through people. There are always way more no's than yeses. That's normal. Otherwise, if it was more yeses, everyone would be doing it. And then you won't make that kind of money. Okay? Any questions?
No, not from me. It's been great. Thank you.
Okay, so now, again, I'm repeating myself, but there's a reason, guys. Put your foot down on watching the trainings. 190 hours isn't rocket science. I remember doing 160 odd hours of trainings of one of my mentors in a short period of, I think, maybe a month. I was listening to it like obsessively. It was an MP3, car MP3 thing. And, like literally I was driving around and I was listening 3-4 hours a day. I'd come back home and listen to it obsessively. I'd sleep at nights listening to it. I've been through those stages. Okay. Even right now, I still do a lot of work behind the scene. Okay. So you got to put the work in. You got to put the learning in. You got to practice this simultaneously. If you see me repeating this 1 million times, I promise you there's a reason. All right, guys? Good. Have an absolutely fantastic evening, and I'm going to see you all very, very soon, okay? Remember to message me if you haven't announced your event, and if you have and you don't have enough bookings, message people that you're connected with, and then if you need to reschedule, we can always do that, but make sure that you have at least 10 or more people turning up to your event, because if you have 10 now, then eventually you're going to get to a point when you have 30, 40, and 50 people, okay?
Good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Take care.
Oh, thank you.